Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we'll fill you in on all of the latest local headlines and groundbreaking world news.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Ron Garza.
And I'm Morgan Hughes, and you're watching UMass News Now. "26-year-old Nathan Kamensky of Hadley has been reported missing since Friday. Kamensky's vehicle was found parked with the keys still inside it in a parking lot near Calvin Coolidge Bridge in Northampton. Police used a GPS locator on Kamensky's phone, which was consistent with the location of the vehicle. Area police and firefighters conducted a search of the river and the surrounding area, but the Hadley resident was not found. 12 Northampton police officers conducted the search, along with others from Hadley and South Hadley.
A university funding agreement between former Governor Deval Patrick and former University of Massachusetts President Robert Carey has ceased this year. The deal was in place for the academic years between 2013 and 2015, during which the state agreed to fund 50% of UMass educational costs in exchange for a halt on increases to tuition and fees. But now UMass President Martin Meehan and Governor Charlie Baker's administration have declined to continue the agreement in lieu of alternative methods of funding, calling the deal, quote, a short-term commitment. For the coming academic year, UMass has requested $570 million in operating funds from the state. But Governor Baker's 2017 budget proposal has allotted $508 million for the university's educational expenses, along with another $31 million in tuition retention. Tuition retention is a new program authorized by the state legislature last July, which allows UMass to keep all in-state tuition revenue.
The alleged victim of a 2013 rape testified in front of jurors at Hampshire Superior Court last week. The woman says 20-year-old Patrick DeRocher approached and sexually assaulted her near the campus center in September of 2013. The woman claims she heard a voice from behind her as she was walking home from a party at a fraternity house on North Pleasant Street. She claims she was then pushed up against a tree and pulled to the ground as the alleged suspect sexually assaulted her. The woman said she had felt intoxicated at the party, but was still aware of her surroundings. She left the party after she became tired and was then approached by the alleged suspect. DeRocher's defense attorney, Vincent Bongiorni, questioned the alleged victim's memory of the event, stating that she remembered some aspects of the night, but not others. Bongiorni also questioned the alleged victim's discrepancies of how much alcohol she actually consumed that night, according to what she told police. Bongiorni also claims that the alleged victim met DeRocher at the party and that they walked home together and began kissing. DeRocher asserts that the sex was consensual.
The Massachusetts Department of Public Health is pursuing an investigation into Bay State Noble Hospital after it was discovered that the medical facility improperly disinfected equipment used in colonoscopy procedures. Bay State Noble issued a letter to 293 people last month warning of possible exposure to bloodborne pathogens during colonoscopies between June 2012 and April 2013, which could put them at risk of infection from hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV. Hospital officials have stated the potential is low, but not zero, and free screening is available for patients who receive treatment within the 10-month time frame. While no patients have reported an infection, some are considering legal action against Bay State Noble for alleged negligence for the lapse in sterilization and delayed notification of potential health risks.
The Amherst Select Board voted unanimously to offer support for the establishment of a medical marijuana dispensary on University Drive, pending approval from state officials. The dispensary would be operated by Mass Medicum Corp., a nonprofit corporation based in Easton that was awarded one of the state's 15 provisional registered marijuana dispensary licenses in 2014. Mass Medicum has contracted Amherst developer Richard Slobody to construct the dispensary at 85 University Drive, 3 minutes off campus from Southwest residential area. There will be security features set in place to ensure controlled access and distribution of medical marijuana products to patients. The company beat 142 other applications for licensing under the Massachusetts Medical Use of Marijuana program. Once approved for operations, the company will utilize an on-site doctor and pharmacist to maintain supervision of patient care.
A Northampton man was awarded $52,500 in an out-of-court settlement with the City of Northampton's insurance company following a complaint issued by the American Civil Liberties Union of Massachusetts 16 months ago. The complaint alleged that the Northampton police used an excessive amount of force and an unlawful arrest in subduing Jonas Correa, who was pepper sprayed in the face and detained outside the former Tully O'Reilly's bar after he had filmed NPD officers questioning patrons in response to a call of drunken and disorderly conduct within the bar. An internal review prompted by Correa's arrest did not identify any misconduct by NPD personnel, but the ACLU complaint to Mayor David Narkowitz claimed footage from a cell phone video that captured the arrest contradicted statements made by NPD officers in official reports. Correa's charges of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest were later dropped in late 2013, but Northampton lawyer Luke Ryan and the ACLU pursued the case against the NPD's use of force, citing the video evidence. Following the settlement, Mayor Narkowitz released a statement in which he established that the settlement had been reached between Correa and the city's insurance company, not with the city itself.
Coming up, we'll fill you in on the Zika virus and the new ways it is found to be transmitted.
And later we'll tell you about a Chinese online finance company that was alleged to have stolen more than $7.6 billion from investors in a massive Ponzi scheme. Stay tuned.
Okay, guys, ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're live.
Probe Voyager 1 crossed out of our solar system, being the first man-made product to do so.
And find out what exciting event UMass is planning for our homecoming weekend.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Liz Streppa.
I'll say Kyla Daniel.
That's going to be us in 20 years, Kyla. 20
Exactly.
years.
If students don't start returning the locks and towels that they borrow, they might soon be locked out of free rentals.
For an anchor shot,
Yeah, is that good or?
you want to zoom it out a little bit more.
For more news updates around campus, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Until next week, have a good night, UMass.
University of Massachusetts food scientist Eric Decker received a grant earlier this month to study ways to improve the nutritional value of popular foods that are high in saturated fats. Decker explained to UMass News and Media Relations that the top 3 contributors of saturated fat in American diets are crackers, cookies, and granola bars. Decker plans to explore new ways to reduce saturated fat content without reducing shelf life or affect flavor and texture. Decker, along with 2 food science professors, will conduct a series of experiments testing these factors. Decker hopes to find a way to prolong shelf life of these popular low-moisture snacks to increase nutritional value and decrease waste.
U.S. Representative Katherine Clark, a Democrat from Melrose, recently fell victim to the dangerous online hoax of swatting. Melrose police responded to an allegedly computer-generated phone call that had claimed shots had been fired at Representative Clark's home, but they quickly found that no such incident had occurred. Investigators believe the cause for the hoax was due to Clark's push for legislation designed to prohibit the use of interstate telecommunications systems to intentionally provoke reactions from tactical response units based on falsified emergency reports. The process of swatting involves obtaining a target's personal information and calling local law enforcement to report a violent crime in progress, which instigates a SWAT team's deployment to the target's physical location. Clark issued a tweet Monday evening thanking the Melrose police for their timeliness and professionalism in handling the situation.
On Monday, the Sacramento Kings retracted free t-shirts that were set to be given away 90 minutes before the game, when controversy struck. The t-shirts had the Year of the Monkey symbol on them, symbolizing the upcoming celebration of the Lunar New Year. The controversy arose over claims of racial insensitivity about the first day of Black History Month. Black History Month took preference for the team this week as images of workers quickly removing the free t-shirts from seats at the stadium in Sacramento were posted on social media. Other celebrations of the Chinese New Year went as planned, including a ribbon dance by the team's dancers. Players and coaches wore Black History Month t-shirts during warm-ups before the Monday night game. The Lunar New Year commences this Monday, February 8th.
In a controversial decision, the Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority has allowed British scientists from the Francis Crick Institute in London to genetically modify the DNA of human embryos, strictly for research purposes. While the implanting of any DNA-altered embryos in women remains illegal, the process will examine the first 7 days of an embryo's development as it grows from a single cell to 250 cells, using donated eggs from couples who have received in vitro fertilization treatments. Opponents have claimed that such research could lead to the rise of designer babies, or children who have been selectively designed for specific genetic traits, though scientists see potential for a greater understanding of early embryonic progression. And in April of last year, Chinese scientists from Sun Yat-sen University created the world's first genetically modified human embryo, in which they successfully altered mutant DNA that causes the disease beta thalassemia, a blood disorder that reduces the production of hemoglobin.
In December, a UMass student died after falling 25 feet at the Four Seasons Hotel in New York City. Now, his fraternity brothers are coming together to make sure his memory remains alive. UMass News Now, James Villalobos has more.
Passionate, optimistic, and creative.
That's how many remember 20-year-old UMass student Connor Cummings, and it's that creativity and passion for photography that ultimately led to his death. In December, Cummings fell 25 feet to his death at the Four Seasons Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. His camera was recovered from the incident unharmed, giving many a glimpse at the photos he had taken that night. Cummings had been a photographer for just a year, but his fraternity brother Luke Davin says it's the way he transformed his images that made them so stunning.
I think he just loved the fact that he could kind of take a picture of anything and just kind of, it was like his own art form. He could paint that empty canvas with a picture.
His fraternity brothers at Alpha Sigma Phi have organized an art exhibit this Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Studio Art Center. They're encouraging the UMass community to attend in hopes that it will give many a snapshot of his passion for photography.
Connor loved sharing his pictures with the world, and he always wanted to have his photographs be part of his work later in life. So this is paying homage to him as we see best.
Immediately following the showcase, there will be a service at the Newman Catholic Center on North Pleasant Street.
Everyone will be there for each other. It'll be a good way to have a final goodbye.
In Amherst, James Villalobos, UMass News Now.
Over 30,000 passengers remain stuck at the Guangzhou railway station in southern China as they try to make their way home for the holiday. Snow and poor weather delayed dozens of trains, leaving almost 100,000 passengers stranded early this week. The annual Spring Festival migration started January 24th this year and lasts more than 6 weeks, where millions of Chinese workers return home to their families to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Over 175,000 passengers passed through the station yesterday alone. 6,000 security guards and 8 additional high-speed trains have been deployed to aid the stranded passengers.
The Iowa Democratic Party announced Tuesday that former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton won the state's caucuses, beating Senator Bernie Sanders by an extremely narrow margin. Clinton was awarded 701 state delegate equivalents at 49.9% of votes, while Sanders received 697 equivalents at 49.6%. The equivalent system is based on a formula the Iowa Democratic Party uses to allocate clusters of caucus goers to their preferred candidate rather than traditional ballot counting. According to state party officials, nearly 171,000 Iowa Democrats caucused Monday evening. At this time, there's been no word from the Sanders campaign on whether or not the senator will challenge the delegate calculations, citing the closeness of the final tally. In contrast to the fight between Clinton and Sanders, former Governor Martin O'Malley has announced that he is suspending his presidential campaign due to poor caucus results. For the Iowa Republican caucus, Senator Ted Cruz won 27% of the state's GOP votes, upsetting national frontrunner Donald Trump in second place at 24% of votes and Senator Marco Rubio in third place at 23%.
A case of the Zika virus transmitted by sexual contact rather than by a mosquito bite was reported in Texas on Monday. The Dallas County Health and Human Services Department report that the patient was infected with the virus after having sex with a sick individual who had just returned from Venezuela. In 2008, a mosquito specialist passed the virus on to his wife after returning home from Africa. In 2013, traces of the virus was found in the semen of a man who had recovered from the infection in France. Scientists are still piecing together what other ways the Zika virus can be transmitted besides from the bite of a mosquito. After the World Health Organization declared the Zika virus a global health emergency, scientists have been further researching the virus's possible link to birth defects. Cases of microencephaly, where babies are born with unusually small heads, have risen sharply in Brazil. Ground zero for the virus. Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Margaret Chan, said the link between the Zika virus and these birth defects were not entirely clear, but called it a, quote, heavy burden, unquote, on pregnant women and families in areas at risk for the virus. More than 20 countries have reported cases of the Zika virus. The CDC has issued a warning for pregnant women not to travel to any place where the Zika virus has been found, especially in warmer, humid places where populations of mosquitoes thrive.
A Chinese online finance company was alleged to have stolen more than $7.6 billion from investors in a massive Ponzi scheme, according to Hong Kong authorities. After weeks of scrutiny and investigation for illegal business practices, the lending company Azealia was found to have offered mostly faked investment products to online clients, defrauding nearly 1 million investors and dividing their assets among top executives of the Yucheng Group since July of 2014. The state-owned news agency, Xinhua, reported that 21 employees of the finance company were arrested at the bank's location in the eastern city of Hangzhou. Azealia is part of a new category of private banks that have developed into a lucrative online market which provides peer-to-peer lending between investors and borrowers, one that has seen increasing complaints of fraud. Now over to Leah Geddes and Jill Berner for an all-new segment of Mass Hollywood.
Hey girls! Hello, and welcome to an all-new segment of Mass Hollywood. Here we'll tell you all the latest celebrity gossip. I'm Leah Geddes.
And I'm Jill Berner. Kevin Roper, the Walmart truck driver involved in the June 2014 car crash that left Tracy Morgan critically injured and comedian James McNair dead, has pleaded guilty to manslaughter and other charges on Monday. Roper was driving on the New Jersey Turnpike when he was crashed into a limo carrying Morgan McNair along with other friends. Morgan and the survivor sued Walmart, which settled for an undisclosed amount.
That's really sad.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
But at least that they're finally coming and like something's going to happen and he will be charged for manslaughter. So
2 years later, finally.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad situation. Yeah. Recently, it has been announced that there will be another season of the hit sitcom Gilmore Girls coming to Netflix. All the previous actors will be returning for the 4-part miniseries along with new characters to the show. Filming of the show has already started, but the premiere date has yet to be released. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be really excited.
I'm excited about this.
My roommate, literally has said she watched that season, all the seasons, a billion times through.
Yeah, same with my sister.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, so, and maybe I'll just have to start it and watch it.
You'll have to.
Maybe.
I recommend it.
We'll see.
Grease Live, Fox's ambitious live musical event, brought in 12.2 million viewers and 4.3 same-day rating and demographic, which is likely to increase once the DVR playback is factored in. Vanessa Hudgens, one of the main characters in this musical, suffered from the loss of her father for stage 4 cancer the day before the live broadcast. But she stated, "Tonight I will do the show in his honor." Wow.
Yeah, that must be really hard.
I cannot believe she did that.
I know. I don't know how she could get up and act and be full emotion, happy and just going with it.
I couldn't even leave my house if it happened.
I think she was probably doing it for him, knowing he wouldn't want her to just be sitting in her house getting all upset about it. But good for her.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is really sad. 24-year-old musician Azealia Banks assaulted a Los Angeles club bouncer in October, but has just found out that she will not be facing any criminal charges for the incident. There was said to be no sufficient evidence to prove the assault, even though there is a video of her pulling a fire alarm on her way out of the club after she was asked to leave due to disruptive behavior. This isn't her first time being asked to leave a club and is lucky that she will not face arrest.
Wow.
Yeah, she sounds kind of crazy.
She seems like a great time.
I don't think she can really handle herself at clubs anymore. Maybe she should like stay in a couple more
I do
nights.
like her music though.
Yeah, she does have good music.
She does have some great jams.
But clearly not a person you want to take out to a party with you.
Not one of those.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Blac Chyna and reality star Rob Kardashian have been seen recently together, and they're said to be dating. Blac Chyna was arrested at the airport for public intoxication and was said to also be in possession of ecstasy. Rob stood up for his girlfriend and drove all the way from Los Angeles to Austin, Texas to pick her up.
That's
Wow,
nuts.
another crazy story.
So not only is she like doing all these crazy drugs, but she's dating Rob, who's sisters with Kylie, who dates Tyga, who has a baby with Blac Chyna. So it's all like
family
connected, kind of a little bit messed up if you ask me.
Connections.
I don't know how okay I would be with my older brother dating
I don't know
her, but yeah, I don't really support either relationship, I guess.
I don't really support either.
Yeah. American Girl dolls are soon debuting a show that Amazon will be producing into 4 live specials. The Amazon series will be on Amazon Prime, streaming in the US, UK, and Germany and Australia after this year. The American Girl Dolls Be Forever franchise of historically inspired girls will be a main part of the show and will influence self-confidence, adventure, and exploration. I think it'll be cute.
I think it'll definitely be cute.
Yeah.
I would love to watch that.
I know. Like, what girl didn't grow up with an American Girl doll?
I had so many American Girl dolls.
I had a few, too. A lot of the clothes.
A lot.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I liked them.
Unfortunately, that is all we have for tonight. Make sure to tune in next week for more celebrity gossip. I'm Jill Berner.
And I'm Leah Geddes. Have a great night.
And that concludes tonight's newscast. Be sure to tune in at the same time next week for all of the latest local headlines. I'm Morgan Hughes.
And I'm Ron Garza. Thanks for watching UMass News Now. Have a great night.